Hello, I am Barendipitous here with another video for the TTRPG shelf, talking about the wild beyond the Witchlight. So we're starting to get towards the end of my D&D book collection here, um, so this is an adventure that I have, like most published adventures, I have run this, and in this case once. Yeah, the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, a Feywild adventure. Um, if you're a fan of fairy lore or things like that, or the fae and all that, this is the adventure for you. But also, if you have a liking for a strange circus environment or a strange fair, this is also the adventure for you. This was a fun adventure to run for my wife and some of my friends. You start in a circus. Um, the Oh gosh, what was the circus called? Um, the Witchlight Carnival, run by Dr. Witch and Dr. Light. These two guys right here. The Witchlight Carnival is not an evil carnival by any means. Oh, there are also some. You can be a fairy, you can be a Harengon, which is a rabbit person, but it's a it's a very whimsical kind of carnival. It is not malicious at all. It just tries to go to various dimensions and just kind of uh, yeah, bring joy and the fantastic to all kinds of people. I will say that the number 3 and the number 8, those two numbers feature very heavily in this adventure. You can kind of see, for example, that the whole carnival is shaped in this sort of figure 8 kind of a thing. The reason why there are lots of reasons why 3 and 8 are significant. Some of that is because an hourglass is an important symbol in this adventure, and so half of an hourglass is 3, a whole hourglass is 8. There's all kinds of things, and even in the artwork, you will find all kinds of references to 3 and 8. But when you're in the carnival, there's a couple of things you keep track of time, right? There's certain events that happen at certain hours in the evening, and then also you keep track of the mood of the carnival as well. As long as the players can contribute to the general jolliness or disappointment that is felt by the crowd in the carnival. This book goes into pretty good detail about the various things you will find in the carnival, various activities and rides and attractions and things like that. But apart from that, what leads you into the adventure is the fact that there's trouble in the Feywild. Basically, the Feywild, a certain part of the a certain domain in the Feywild has been taken over by evil witches, by evil hags, and that realm is called Hither, Thither, and Yon. There's 3 different sections to it. Yeah, the domain of Prismeer. So this is the place that was. There was a powerful archfey who was in charge of this, but then she was imprisoned by 3 hags, and each and the sisterhood of the witches, each 3 of them took one of these areas: Hither, Thither, and Yon. And so you basically go to each of those 3 regions, and there's a different flavor to it. Hither is very much a swampland kind of a place. There's a village of frog people. Yep, that is basically a shop on a balloon that is made out of a storm cloud. There's all kinds of there's an extra dose of whimsy here, obviously. Thither is more of sort of like a forest, a forested area. So yeah, normally displacer beasts are terrifying, jaguar type creatures, but here's a displacer beast kitten. I think that's adorable. Basically, any kind of fairy thing you can think of, you can find in here. Obviously, not actual fairy tales, but definitely inspired by various whimsical, Grimm's fairy tales and all kinds of things, right? You definitely get that feeling. And then Yon is a heavily mountainous area with lightning, across the area and everything. And basically, the idea is that you want to try to defeat each of the 3 witches, at least the way I ran it. And one of the witches runs a theater in her fortress in Yon. And then, yeah. lots of really, again, as usual, lots of really cool art. And then after all of that, you have the central location, which is the Palace of Heart's Desire, which is literally frozen in time, and that's why the archfey who normally runs Prismeer, the domain is like frozen and stuck here. And so you kind of go through this, this enchanted like castle frozen in time with the grounds and the castle and everything. There is a creature. There is a Jabberwock creature. This thing right here. So yeah, a lot of Alice in Wonderland kind of influence here as well. Glassword golem. This is like a stained glass golem. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, there's references to Tasha. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything in here. But yeah, magic items. Yeah, cauldrons. Things like that. Oh yeah, there are a couple of different like factions. These are the witches. We have Bavlorna Blightstraw. We have who was in Hither in the swamp. Endlin Moongrave, who runs the theater in Yon, and then we have Sabak the Nightshade, who is in Thither. There's also this sort of subplot of this League of Malevolence. These evil like warriors trying to like work together to gain power. And then yeah, various creatures unique to this adventure as usual. Role-playing cards for different NPCs in the circus part of it. The circus is a significant part of it's basically the whole first act. And yeah, also this adventure has a story tracker as well. Like if certain things happen in the circus, it may or may not trigger something in the fairy domain, and so that's why you have this tracker to figure that out. And then of course we have the map. I really appreciate the fact that they give you a really big version of the carnival map, very reminiscent of an amusement park, with all the different rides kind of like labeled and everything. We have the time tracker up here, the mood tracker down here, and then on the other side, of course, unsurprisingly, is the domain of Prismeer, like before. Oh gosh, how did this fold? Okay, here we go. Yeah. But yeah, one of the most colorful maps in the D&D books. But yeah, the one time I ran it, it was a lot of fun. Several of the players were especially loved things like spooky fairy stuff and whatever, and fairy tale, Alice in Wonderland nonsense. And this is a perfect adventure for that. And I had a lot of fun, and I definitely again would run this again at some point if the opportunity presented itself. Also, I believe this is the very first adventure that my wife ran for her own players at one point. There was a time when my wife and I were each running our own campaigns for different groups of players, and she ran this one by herself. And which she was only a player, D&D player for so long, and so but she felt comfortable enough, kind of like improvising along with this adventure, and that was great. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, all the best.